going on, everybody? Chris here with Hollywood Haunter. Hey, today I thought I'd show you how I'm gonna go about making a door for this little house here behind me. Let me show you. So Gina and I decided that we were gonna make a little round door for this little witch's cottage, and it creates a little bit more work for a person when they're trying to make a little door, especially one that Gina wants to do. She thought it'd be a cool idea to have it split right there so the bottom half can stay shut while the top opens up. So, and then also too, because of the angle of the house, I need it to hinge on this side and open inward, because if it opens out, I didn't like the way it would cover up some of this house. Because there's not going to be a wall on that side, on the inside, I wanted to have the door kind of open inward so it still kind of masks off the fact that that's an open space back there. When I had framed this wall and I put the luan on the framing, I went ahead real carefully and just routed out the door opening, and I'm going to use that kind of as my template. Okay, so I got a sheet of 3/4 inch plywood here, and then what I did is I put that piece of luan I was telling you about. There is a break in it, so I just taped this together, and then that way I can use it to trace around and transfer the marks to the 3/4 inch plywood. But you can kind of get a gist of what we have in mind here. We're going to put like a round section here with some fence boards in there, and then down here in the lower half I'm going to have kind of like a little squared off section with some fence boards in there, and then there'll be a little kind of popped out stripe right here that'll match the pop out on the cottage, and then we'll put a little lip on here. I just used a circular saw and cut out my edges, and then I plunged it down inside these little edges and just did it by hand to kind of create some of that little wavy lines there. And then up here I just drilled a hole and then used a jigsaw to cut out that circle. Here's where the split is, and again I'm going to add a little pop out shelf here. But yeah, and then I took a little 1/8 inch roundover bit on my router and just kind of rounded it over to get rid of all the splinters and stuff. You can kind of see where I kind of screwed up and overshot my mark there. It's okay though, because when I start adding some of my cedar fence boards to the back and the front of this thing, which I'm gonna do next, you won't even see that anyway. I got the door all made. I still have to add the hinges. I think I'm gonna have to make some long ones, some homemade long ones. I experimented with a little bit of grain going the opposite direction. I normally don't do that with the grinder because it always doesn't look right to me. I'm hoping that once I mud it, it'll look a little bit better, because it'll fill in some of those cracks and maybe look a little more natural. But right now it definitely looks kind of goofy, but it is cartoony, and that's a good thing. So we really won't be able to tell once we get it mudded and Gina starts painting it. But yeah, a little bit thin to me, but it does match the planter box, so I'm still gonna go ahead and live with it. Plus it'll look a lot better once we add some decorative hinges, and then also finish the little metal decorative thing that we have to go right there. And then during Christmas, what we'll do is we could just maybe hang a wreath or something over that round circle. I was thinking about making an opening in there so you could see through it, but I figure since the whole top opens up anyway, it's kind of you know, like crazy, so you don't need all these doors. So there it is, you guys. Let me show you the back real quick. So you can kind of see how I just basically took some fence boards and cut them and then stapled them to the back. I was thinking about at one time adding some 2x4 thickness to give the door some thickness, but since it opens the opposite way to where you don't see the edge of the door, I don't even know if I'm gonna need to do it or not.
Chris has passed the baton on to me, mudded this, and then I've already painted all of this. So we got the shutters, the top of the door, and the flower boxes. So I have this one last piece to do right here, and then I'm gonna wood grain it, and it's gonna look magical. But man, look at the detail. You're getting really good at this, Chris.
Little grindy.
Yeah, the grinding looks really awesome.
Thanks.
Ooh, look at that. That's a real knot right there, you guys. He emphasized. Thumbs up for Chris on that job. You guys, normally I'm not one to boast or be very prideful in my work, but look at that wood grain job. Woo! Woo-wee! That is all faux right there, baby. That is awesome. It turned out so good. And now I feel like I've mastered the wood grain effect. If any of you guys have any questions, ask me. Because now, trial and error, I think we're good to go from here on out. Chris has caught some strange disease.
Get out of here.
Foamitis.